morning, everyone. Happy Sunday to you. I'm Reverend Katherine Economou, and it's my joy to welcome you this morning to the Center for Spiritual Living, Temecula Valley, and our celebration service. I'm joined by our artistic director, John Foltz. Good morning.
Hi there.
And our practitioner of the day today is Merribeth Messer, who's off camera, and I want to thank her for her meditation this morning. That was beautiful. And we have our practitioner, Don Taylor, holding light for us. We're grateful for that. And we are joined by our fearless, wonderful, powerful camera woman, Diane Keys, who's our administrator, woman of many talents and many ways of support. So we are here to put together this service so that we can connect on this day, so that we can come together as a community and remember the truth of the goodness of life, and that we are supported and sourced by the divine presence of God. And so I want to welcome you. I hope you've got your coffee. I hope you're comfortable there on this spring morning, and we are going to get going.
We are. We are one. We are one. I'm you. You are me. We are one. And in this unity, we all live in harmony, and peace has come, for we are one, and peace has come, for we are one.
Let us come together in consciousness to that sacred place where we know ourselves as one. Living in the eternal now, I know that God is timeless and ever-present. Eternal reality is filled with good alone, only good, with goodness and beauty everywhere. And happiness and wholeness is the natural state. I recognize that God is divine love and oneness expressing right here, right now. And I am unified with God. God and I are one. I am one with Spirit. And what I know for myself, I absolutely know for all, for everyone. For together, we share the one mind. This mind that fills all of space. I know that God is that flow of life, that flow of experience. It is God's joyous self-recognition. And so I bless this service. Absolutely knowing that every person who hears my voice is continually renewed and refreshed in the unconditional love of God. And so it is.
Thank you, Merribeth. That was beautiful. Thank you, John. That's lovely.
You're welcome. Sorry, you always catch me mid-sip.
I know. And I know that's coffee, too.
It is.
So.
It is. Or is it?
No, it's coffee. I know it's coffee. I know it's coffee from the days that you were at my house.
Constant companion.
Yes, well, that's good. But that was lovely.
Thank you.
I'm glad you got another little kick there. So, And once again, I want to say good morning and welcome to you. We're so happy to be able to be together today. We had a great fun time last week.
It was fun.
It was fun, our Easter celebration. We had our online service as this, and we also had an in-person parking lot celebration, which was filled with joy and laughter and fun, and it was that first step of moving back in the direction of reopening again. And so I'm very excited to that went as well as it did. And now our teams are getting back together and we're talking about what it's going to take those next steps. There's some exciting things coming. I don't have any specific announcements about it right now, but in the next couple of weeks we'll have some information. And so hold on and just a little bit longer and we will be back together by the end of the spring. I'm guessing by the end of the spring we're going to be in some way, shape, or form back together on a regular basis. So again, I want to welcome you if you are just stumbling across us on Facebook or if you've been a member here for a long time. We want to send a warm embrace to you, a good morning, and remind you that Center for Spiritual Living Temecula Valley is an open, inclusive, welcoming spiritual community. We believe that God is revealing itself in all things in each and every person, and that everyone is a divine emanation of that spirit of the one. And so we honor you in your unique expression and who you are and the gift you bring to the world. And so all that we do, our services, our classes, our meditations, everything we do together is about deepening our connection in this community, creating a space of belonging and welcoming. And so it's in that spirit of love that I welcome you this morning. If you may be new to us, we want to make sure that we have as much information for you as possible. You could jump over to our website. There's a lot of information about who we are and what we believe there, and we're just so grateful to be able to continue to connect. And with that, I think we've got a song.
Let's do
ready
a song.
to do some singing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll invite Merribeth to come on up.
Choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road to heaven right now. Oh, I'm choosing heaven today. Choose love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road to heaven right now. Oh, I'm choosing love today. Abundance. I choose abundance today. I choose abundance today. I am walking the road to heaven right now. I choose abundance today. Compassion. I choose compassion today. I choose compassion today. I am walking the road to heaven right now. I choose compassion today. Heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road to heaven right now. I'm choosing heaven today.
And so this is the time of our service when we're going to move into our spiritual practice together, our moment of gratitude. So I invite you to just close your eyes and just rest where you are right now. Take a breath. And let's just feel this beautiful Sunday morning. The coolness of the air, the refreshment of the day, and the beauty of spring. And so let's just allow this beautiful day to be the focus of our gratitude today. We have an opportunity to begin again. We have an opportunity to look and see things differently than before. We have the chance to step into the fullness of life on this day. And so just allow that excitement, that joy, that possibility. And it doesn't matter what we do with it, it's just the fact that it's there. Allow that possibility to rise in your heart. Gratitude for the fact that you are never stuck. You are never stagnant. You are never stuck. You always have the opportunity and the possibility to take a new step in a new direction, to make a different choice. to begin again. And so just breathing that into our hearts and allowing that feeling of gratitude to expand. Let it fill you with these few breaths. That creative energy of gratitude. And so when you're ready, you can come on back and open your eyes. I want to remind us that our mindset and how we approach our life makes such a huge difference. And so when we can look at this new day, when we can look at the possibilities and the opportunities that are in front of us with excitement, with joy, with that sense of possibility, it changes the energetic and it changes our experience of the day. And so I'm going to remind us that simple practice of gratitude, when you start your day with it, when you end your day with it, it changes the way that we move through our days. And I encourage you to join me in doing it every day and just see how things start to lighten, how we start to see possibilities in a new light, in a new way. And we open to creating differently. So I'm going to invite you to join us in that practice of thanksgiving and gratitude. I also want to thank everyone who has continued to support us financially. We're going to move into our time of sacred giving and offering. And so CSL TV is so grateful for the ongoing financial support that this community has given. And even in the midst of a challenge and difficult time, though the donations have gone down a little bit, we are still able to maintain what we're doing. And so we're so grateful for that. And we know that as we move into this next time of expansion and coming back together once again, that as we all lean into this vision and this purpose of being a light here unto the valley, that we work together, that anything is possible. And so I want to encourage you to participate in that flow, in that divine practice of sacred giving, allowing that infinite abundance of the universe to come into your experience and move to that which you believe in. So we give to that which we believe in. We give to that which we want to see grow and expand. We give to that place that nurtures us, that feeds us, that inspires us. And it's my best hope, it's our best hope that CSL TV is here to inspire you to live your best life, to support you in taking that step and creating on that next level that you've been just dreaming about. And I know together we can support you in getting there. And so this gift that we give moves forward to support this unfoldment for this spiritual community and for each and every one of us. And so there's a couple of ways that you could share your offering. You could jump over to our website and hit that donate button. It goes straight through PayPal. You could call us at 951-304-0268 and speak with our administrator, Diane Keys. Or you could mail in a check to us, your offering to the community, and we'll put the address in the chat there. Just know that it's from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of the leadership, the hearts of the leadership, that we are just so grateful for this community, that even though we've been apart, that we are still connected and that we still have this opportunity to connect and to move towards recreating coming up what's next. And so together I know that we can do anything. And so with that, let us bless this gift. Let us just take a moment and breathe into our heart space and bless this offering and know that it goes to deepen, to expand this unfoldment for this spiritual community. For I know that God is that infinite abundance of the universe, and it pours itself forth to and through each and every one of us as we open to receive it. As we allow that flow to move through us and give to that which we want to support and see grow and expand in the world. And so I know that this offering is blessed, and it goes to multiply and to support God's expression in the world. And so I bless it, I'm grateful for it, and allow it to be, and so it is. And so please join me in saying our affirmation of abundance together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Yes.
Blessed always always. For the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say, Amen. Blessed always, blessed always. For the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say, Amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say, Amen.
Our spiritual reading today comes from our book for this year, 365 Days of Richer Living by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. I work with the power, intelligence, and joy of divine mind. Surrounded by good, I walk this day in peace. The mind and love of God support me in every decision I make, in everything I do. It is impossible to escape from the presence of God, so it is impossible to lack for any good thing. All that God is mine this day. It supports me, it enfolds me. I feel this eternal presence of love. Like David, the psalmist, I know that the rod and staff of Spirit are bringing forth my demonstrations of truth. The mind and the law are mine to use today. They will produce for me my sincere desires, for they must create what I choose to think. I turn in thought to God, knowing that His instant response is assured. I give thanks in advance for my healing. I accept my good from God. There is joy in my heart and hope in my thinking. Everything blesses me, and I bless everything. I cannot fail, for God Himself created me and acts through me. Sustained at every moment by love, I live in peace, work in joy, and relax in beauty. All is well with my soul, and so it is.
Nice. Thank you. That was beautiful. All right.
Hey.
I think we got a song
We
for
got
us.
it. We got a song.
I think you got a song. Welcome, John Foltz.
Hi there. It's my first time here.
Oh, welcome.
I like to say that as a joke every now and then. Let there be love that lives in every heart. Unlearn the fears that cause goodwill to depart. Take a breath, open up and impart. The only place we can start. Begin with love that lives in every heart. Let there be joy that dwells in every home. Untie the bonds that make us feel we're alone. Let it walk, creature out, wrap the dome. It follows wherever we roam. Oh, when there is joy that dwells in every home. Some say innocence is long gone. They that stood no chance to survive. Poverty
everybody. Well, I want to remind us that our theme for the year is timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision. And our intention with that annual theme is to deepen our understanding of how to live the science of mind philosophy, these spiritual principles that we talk about, that we explore, that we meditate on, that we put into practice in our lives, and see how we can integrate them into our lives in new and expansive ways. I don't know about you, but it just feels like something new is wanting to be called out of each and every one of us. Something new, some new way of being, some new expression as we're coming into this. I don't know if it's because we're coming to the end of the pandemic or we're coming into spring, but it just feels like there's this energy that's wanting to burst forward. And so the idea is that we take the foundation of these timeless principles, these spiritual principles, and we put them into practice in new and expansive ways for each of us, for our good, for our growth, and for our expansion. So that's the intention of everything that we're doing this year. And this month, we have a new theme for April, which is stepping into the unknown, right? There we go, something nice and juicy there to work with, stepping into the unknown. It feels like we've been doing that a lot this year, but we're moving into a new realm of it. And today my talk is stepping into the unknown. You are not alone. And so what I realize is that spiritual awakening, spiritual growth requires a willingness to step into the unknown. Spiritual growth, spiritual awakening requires a certain amount of comfort with living in the question, right? There are things that come up that stretch us, that grow us, that pull us into a new direction. And it's all about that evolution and that unfoldment. When we stop playing it safe and move beyond the edge of our previous experience, our energy expands. Saying yes to life, welcoming it all, even the moments of discomfort or challenge, allows us to realize and cultivate new aspects of who we are, new aspects of our own strength. Our search for security is an illusion. You know, our human search for security is an illusion. We all do it. We all want to create a nice, comfy bubble that we live in. A nice, comfy bubble that we get to say, yes, I'm growing here and I'm working on this, but it's still very contained and very comfortable and cushy in there. In the ancient wisdom traditions, the pathway to a happy, fulfilling, and joyful life of freedom lies in the wisdom of uncertainty. This means that the search for security and certainty is actually an attachment to what is already known, right? That we have this idea. But the challenge is what's already known. Well, what's already known is our past, is who we were, not even who we are now, who we were. The known is nothing other than the prison of our past conditioning. There's no evolution in that. There's no growth in that. There's no expansion in that. There's no space in it. It's a small prison of limitation. But uncertainty, on the other hand, uncertainty is the fertile ground of pure creativity and freedom. Uncertainty means stepping into the unknown every day, every moment of our existence. The unknown is a field of all possibilities, ever fresh, ever new, always open to the manifestation of new experiences and situations. So often in life, right, there are upsets, there are challenges that bring disorder to our life of presumed order. And let me start by saying that we step into the unknown every time we step out of bed, okay? Like every day. You want to go to Starbucks, you're stepping into the unknown because you don't know what's going to happen, right? We never really know what's going to happen. But we lull ourselves into a sense of security because we play it safe, because we surround ourselves with things we're familiar with. But the truth is, the spirit is that absolute expression and expansion of the unknown. So when those moments of disorder show up, when those moments happen A natural human reaction is to seek order and to resist the disorder, right? Which is demanding a change in direction. Like, the disorder of our life is demanding a change in direction. Instead of continuing to muddle through and remain in the zone of comfort and ease, it's wanting to be, a change is wanting to come to pass here. And so in these moments of upset in the normal calm of everyday life that offer this opportunity for change, they become openings that can set one off sailing into life in a new direction, propelled by the creative energy of divine life. Now, I remember one of my favorite cartoons. There's this cartoon that circulates around often through ministry. And it's a preacher at the front of a congregation, and you see the congregation and the preacher's there, and he's saying, "Who wants change?" And everybody in the congregation raises their hand, right? The first picture is everybody in the congregation is saying it. And then the second one is, "Who wants to change?" And everybody's just sitting there and looking forward. They're not even looking at him, right? So we all want to experience change, but we don't want anything to actually change in order to be able to do it, right? But if we have that willingness to step into the unknown, then we will have the wisdom of uncertainty factored in. And the wisdom of uncertainty is a deep realization that you are connected to God, the infinite intelligence that's brought forth all that is. God is the power and the presence. This means that in every moment of your life, you can be open to the excitement, to the adventure, to the mystery. When you experience uncertainty, you know that you're on the right path, so you don't give up and you don't resist it, right? We want to get to a place where when those moments, when we feel that call for change, when we feel that need to move in a new direction, that we don't resist it, that we don't ignore it, that we don't pretend it's not there, that we follow its lead, because that is life calling us forward, calling us, pulling us out into a new experience, into a new expression. It's not helpful, right, to put all of our energy into creating a complete and rigid idea of what you'll be doing next week, right? You could do it for next week or next year. Because if you have a very clear of your idea of what's going to happen, and you get rigidly attached to it, then you shut out the whole range of possibilities of what could show up to move you in a new direction. To the degree that you allow yourself to become less resistant and more open to life, you can embrace opportunity and move in that new direction. Deepak Chopra said, "Without uncertainty and the unknown, life is just a stale repetition of outworn memories. You become the victim of the past, and your tormentor today is yourself left over from yesterday. Relinquish your attachment to the known, step into the unknown, and you will step into the field of all possibilities." And Pema Chodron, who's a beloved Buddhist teacher, author, and nun, said this. She said, "This moving away from comfort and security and stepping out into what is unknown, uncharted and shaky, that's called liberation." Stepping into the unknown brings us to a place of freedom, of liberation. The Science of Mind teaches us that freedom is our birthright. It's the birthright of every individual. We are free to choose and to create the experience of our life. And yet, even when we're choosing to play small, even when we're choosing to stay safe, there's a yearning sometimes. There's a part of us that longs to evolve. There's an urge that longs to be free. It's an urge, and there are some times that you can feel it. Maybe it's a restlessness or a deep need to move or shift in a new direction or change something in your life. This is because we were made to evolve. We were made to constantly grow and unfold and evolve, to expand. And life was made to guide us with that growth. We're connected not only to God, but to each other. We're intimately connected to all of life. So everything that happens in life is there to support our growth and our expansion. We're called to embrace change, transformation, and that newness, that fresh newness. As we boldly step into the unknown, we find ourselves navigating the winds of change. And it's easier to welcome some, and yet we still resist others. We each have the opportunity to choose how we're going to live as we move forward. We can fight it. We can try and manage our lives, keep things safe and secure and the same, comfortable, because we know what to expect. So that's an image of steadiness, but it's also an image of stagnation. And pardon, I can't think of another word, but blah, right? There's an experience of blah in that, you know? We need to have something new. We need to have something fresh to have that experience. Or we can welcome it. We can welcome life. We can embrace the question. We can embrace the challenge. We can embrace what's coming up, knowing that we are sourced and supported by life itself. We can, those rumblings that happen, and we can look to see and to nurture and to support what wants to be born out of this. I have a colleague, a minister, who lives in Geneva, Switzerland. Her name is Reverend Beth Liguri. And she tells this story of this lake near where she lives. It's called Lake Leman, and it's near Geneva, situated between the Alps and the Jura Mountains. She shares that on Lake Leman, there are more than 70 different winds. 70 different winds that blow. I was like surprised by that. But there are, right? And so it's a place where they do a lot of sailboat racing and they do a lot of sailing. But she says that on the days when there's very little wind, the sailors scan the becalmed lake, looking for any ripples on the water. And when they locate any ripples on the water, the skipper changes direction and heads towards the disturbances to find the wind that is blowing there, right? The sails fill up, the boat receives the power to sail quickly towards its destination. Those who are most successful in locating disturbances on the water reach their destination and complete the race. They've embraced the changing winds. I love that story because the idea is that there's the ones who embrace the disturbance. When we can embrace life, when we can embrace what's before us, when we can look for it, when we can lean into it, when we can embrace it, we get where we're going faster and more smoothly. Not by avoiding it, not by pretending it's not there, not by turning our back on it, by heading straight to the disturbance. Because the disturbance that in the story, the wind is the thing that's going to carry us to that next experience. Well, the disturbance in our lives are the things that are going to carry us to the next experience. Can we trust the wind of change that is being kicked up from those experiences of our lives? And truth is that stepping into the unknown is a lot easier when we realize that we're not alone in this. When we understand how God operates in our lives, it's much easier to accept and embrace the changes that we're faced with. God is so intimately connected to us in our path in life. It is the infinite principle. We often talk about God as that infinite, powerful presence that has brought forth all things. God is an energy. It's a presence. It is life itself. It's part of all that is. It's also the most intimate part of our being. It lives in our hearts, and it knows our fears and our desires, and more than anything, it knows what we're capable of more than we do. It knows that you're much stronger than you think you are. Remember, Jesus said, "Of mine own self I can do nothing, but with God all things are possible." And he said, do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? The words that I speak to you, I do not speak from my own self, but the Father dwelling in me doeth the works. Again, when we talk about these scriptures from the metaphysical perspective, wherever Jesus uses I am, when he says I am, when he says I am in the Father is in me, it's universal. It means that he is, and I am, and you are. The Father is within us. It is the divine within us that does the works. We point the way, and God makes the way possible. So as you consciously poise yourself in the realization that you live in pure spirit, a new power is born within you. You'll find yourself renewed by the divine life, led by the divine intelligence and wisdom, and guarded by divine love. That's what it means to live in the Spirit, to live close to the Spirit, is to cultivate that feeling and that understanding of your deep connection to it so much that when the stuff starts to hit the fan in our lives, we can say, God is in this too. I don't like it. There are things that happen in our lives that, let me tell you, there's stuff that happens in my life that I don't like, but I trust God in it. And I know it's there to bring forth more wisdom, more understanding, a deeper realization of myself and of life. And we are all called to do this. And I want to remind us that our guidance system in this, during times of this, during times of change, during times of evolution, is joy. So instead of a GPS, a global positioning system, or a God positioning system, I'm calling it a JPS. It's our joy positioning system. Joy is the guide along our path of co-creation with God. Where your joy flows, your life grows, actually. So we have to allow ourselves time for joy. We need to realize that we are here for the delight of God. We have been created as an aspect of that divine, as a unique expression of that divine, for the joy and the delight of the infinite one. And so what that means is that we have to get in touch with those things that bring the experience of delight to us. So what brings you delight? When you get stuck in one of those scary moments when the floor seems to be rocking in your world, pause and ask yourself, what would bring me joy today? Maybe, where is my delight today? And embrace that. Take a step in that direction. And it may be something as simple as buying yourself some beautiful flowers, or drinking tea out of your grandmother's tea set, or sitting under a tree, enjoying the moment for a few moments with the breeze. Maybe it's playing with your grandkids. Finding some way to bring some joy to your experience every day is not selfish. It's honoring God. And so that is part of our self-care, is finding a way to allow ourselves to really embrace life. Because God creates through joy. So the power and the intelligence of the divine mind is yours. And so whether you're working on re-emerging to a new normal after the pandemic, or beginning a new venture, or even just waking up and starting a new day, we're always stepping into unknown territory. This is a new day. Today is a new day, and we are called to live it fully. Of mine own self, I can do nothing. But with God, everything is possible. So let joy be your guide as you co-create this day with God for your highest expression of the greatest delight. Again, Deepak Chopra from the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, he has this great affirmation, and I'm going to make sure I put it up on our Facebook today. It says this: Today, I will factor in uncertainty as an essential ingredient of my experience. In my willingness to accept uncertainty, solutions will spontaneously emerge. The more uncertain things seem to be, the more secure I will feel, because uncertainty is my path to freedom. Through the wisdom of uncertainty, I will find my security. The unknown is a field of possibilities, an adventure that waits for all of us. It's an oasis, a start to something new. We're essentially being reborn again during the process of the unknown. And so as an infinite being, there's always something new for you to discover. This is the path of lasting joy. Imagine a life of mystery and enchantment, right? It's there waiting for you in the midst of the chaos of the human experience. So instead of experiencing it as chaos, let's step into the adventure of it, knowing that we are supported, strengthened, guided by the infinite wisdom of God. So step into the unknown. You are safe and secure in it because you're not alone. God is always with you. And so as we start this week, I encourage you to allow those moments when you feel that you're moving into a place of change and of that newness, of that shakiness. Take a breath and feel the presence of God within you. And allow it to guide you forward into that place of freedom and of joy. And so I'm going to end with a prayer today. I invite you to just close your eyes and take a breath right where you are. Let's come together in consciousness here and remember the infinite creative source of all life that is God. It moves and breathes itself into being as each and every one of us and all things everywhere. And so I know that this one is that one mind, that infinite knowing of all the ages. It is that powerful heart, that one heart of God, that is that channel of divine love, the impetus for all creation. And Spirit moves and breathes itself into being as each and every one of us. So intimately connected are we, that it is nearer than breath, closer than hands or foot. It is that divine spark that's alive at the center of our hearts. And so I know that each and every one of us is source supported and guided by God. I know that our lives are created to allow for the fullest experience of freedom and joy and love. And that life itself holds the key to the unfoldment. And so I call upon grace. I call upon that powerful presence of grace to move into our experience, to calm our fears, to allow us to feel that support and to feel that connection with the Infinite One. And I know that peace of surrender allows us to feel that support, and that God simply guides us to our highest and greatest expression. And so with a grateful heart to see it, to know it, to claim it, I celebrate and give thanks for this divine truth of life, of Spirit, and of each of us. And with my heart overfilled with gratitude, I surrender my word and allow it to be. And so it is. Amen. Welcome John Foltz back up.
Hi again.
Hi again.
The secret of life is enjoying the passing of time. Any fool can do it. There ain't nothing to it. Nobody knows how we got to the top of the hill. might as well enjoy the ride. The secret of love is in opening up your heart. It's okay to feel afraid. Don't let it stand in your way. 'Cause anyone knows that love is the only road. And since we're only here for a while, we might as well show some style. Give us a smile. Isn't it a lovely ride? Oh, sliding down, gliding down. Try not to try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. And the thing about time isn't really real. It's just your point of view. How does it feel for you? Einstein said he could never understand it all. The planets spinning through space, the smile upon your face. Welcome to the human race. Isn't it a lovely ride? I'll be sliding down and gliding down. Try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. Oh, some kind of lovely ride. Oh, sliding down, gliding down. Try not to try too hard. It's just a lovely ride. The secret of life is enjoying the passing of time.
Thank you, John. That's beautiful. Ah. So I was just joking. We had a new congregant join us during the beginning of my talk today. And nobody saw it because it was behind you. There was a lizard that walked in that's literally this long.
Awesome.
Yeah, that just walked in right while I was doing my talk, and nobody saw it, and I was starting to freak out. And so we have no idea where he is in the room. So he's here.
He's crawling on your back. No, it's not really.
Thanks. He's
Sorry.
not in the tree. He's
That's
not above
so
you.
messed
But
up,
that was
dude.
so hilarious because I almost was like, we have to stop. We're gonna have to stop. But we didn't. So I'm pretty proud of myself that I didn't freak out. But anyways, it's always fun here. It's always an adventure. You know, we're having some fun now. So I have some reminders of our events coming up. Our book study's off for one more week, and then they're going to start meeting again on Wednesdays with their new book. The men's ministry meets on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, you can contact Reverend Michael Summers for that. The Sisters in Spirit group are meeting, the women are meeting on the first and third Thursdays of the month, and you can contact Pam Migliosi for that. Our Spiritual Connection at 7 series is continuing. 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 20-minute meditation. It's been really great to connect with a practitioner and a minister and do some spiritual practice together. On Wednesday nights, we do a check-in with me. It's a little bit longer. It's about an hour. We have some really great conversations and discussions about those things, spiritual concepts and ideas and what's happening in the world. And so you're welcome to join us for that. Our prayer room after service, our practitioners are available in real time for a personal prayer. And so they will be on the Zoom. We'll put the link in the chat, and they'll be on until 11:45 today. So we're going to try this one more month. This is what I'm going to say. We've been doing it for a couple of months. We've had just a couple of people who've been showing up, and our practitioners really do want to be of service and support. So if you have something going on and you would like a prayer, and let me tell you, it helps. It makes a difference. And just even sitting and allowing someone to pray with you shifts our consciousness and allows us to see things differently. It helps get through those moments of turbulence, those moments of change when when that floor starts moving in our lives. So I encourage you to reach out, and we're going to try it for one more month, and then we'll call it at the end of April if it doesn't seem like it's really working for people. We'll look into a new way of being of support. But all this month, the prayer room will be available from right after service until 11:45. And next Sunday is our vision board workshop. So this is the time to get your tickets. We have a limited number of tickets. The sales have been up and running. We really encourage you, come back and do a vision board with us. Bring your own scissors, bring a couple of magazines, but everything else is provided. We've worked it out so it's going to be safe. We're going to be careful. We are within the range of numbers of people that we can have, and we're so grateful to welcome you in. So hit that link, go get your ticket, and join us with Beth Haas, our practitioner extraordinaire, Beth Haas, who's going to be teaching that workshop next Sunday from 12:30 here at the center. And that's what I've got. The other thing was really about our reopening plan. Like I said before, we've got a meeting with our leadership team coming up now that Riverside County is in the orange tier. We are going to be looking at what it takes to reopen. So one of the things that means is we need to build our volunteer teams again, because we have a lot of new things that we'll need to do in our new space. So if you are interested in serving on one of our volunteer teams, that would be our setup team, our ambassador team, our technology team, our recording, helping with the recording and the sound, our after service, our welcome check-in team. We've got all sorts of different things that we are going to need to put into practice. If you are wanting to step up and be a volunteer and support us, send me an email. Reverend Katherine, Rev Katherine at csltv.org, REVKATHERINE at csltv.org. And I'll put you on the list, and we're going to start to pull our teams together and then make our plan, and then we're going to reopen, and it's going to be great. We're very excited about that. But we're going to need to do this all together, and we would love to have you come and join us for that. So with that, we're going to do a little blessing and welcome Merribeth back up and send us on our way. So let's just pause one more time and take a breath. And let's sink into that love that is alive at the center of our being. That's the love of God. That's the love that each of us was created out of, that lives within us. And so I know that infinite love is that support, that peace, that joy that is God. And that each and every one of us is connected to it and to one another. And so as we step forth in this week, I know that we go guided and supported, knowing our intimate connection with the infinite. Knowing that God is there for our good, for our joy, for our growth, and for our freedom, that birthright of ours. And that as we trust and surrender into the presence of God, we let go of any sense of limitation, any old idea that we've been holding about ourselves, and step fully into that power and that presence of the One. And so it is with a grateful heart that I simply know this. I honor it, I celebrate it, and with a grateful heart I allow it to be. And so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say that if you are discouraged and struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say: I release and I let go. Let the Spirit of my life and my heart is open wide.
ourselves into the unknown, trusting the divine that has us in its palms. And so it is. Happy Sunday, everyone. We love you. We're so grateful for you. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.